Oh, so how can reality exist without the Christian God? Yeah.
How can reality? No. How can everything exist without the presence of God?
Okay.
I wouldn't even grant him the term reality, because reality will be dependent upon an ultimate foundation from which everything came to tell us what the nature of everything is. If you don't know what the foundation of everything is, you can't tell us any fact in reality that would be intelligible ultimately even.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
What? I'm sorry, I didn't catch.
Yeah, you'll need an ultimate context to tell us what the ultimate nature of reality is. Otherwise, you're in the dark about what the nature of reality is. Do you know what's fundamentally ultimate?
I don't know that there is, apart from the reality that I see around me.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When you say reality,
Yeah.
I think that we are in the dark.
What is foundational to reality by which everything, all the temporal facts exist?
Well, aren't
So
we in
what
the
does?
dark?
So what does? So you're basically asking, what does reality rely upon?
Yeah, reality.
What is the ultimate context that's going to interpret all the facts in reality to make them intelligible? Because you're going to need a context to be able to interpret reality. What do all the facts depend upon?
It relies upon reality. Reality is.
You're just repeating the same claim. You have to give me what's foundationally ultimate to tell me what is going to provide for the context for the facts in reality.
Yeah, repeating the same thing isn't answering anything.
No, I absolutely understand. I am trying to answer. Just let me just kind of give a slightly more full answer. Yeah, as far as I can see it, as far as I'm aware on the evidence I have, the reality around me is what is fundamental.
See, this is the problem with when you keep using the word reality. This is the problem when you keep using the word reality. Because a Christian, our reality in here, our Christians, that all facts, we interpret them this way, that in part, this is in part how we interpret them, that they're God-created facts, that he has a plan, he has a purpose, he's instituted and created these facts for his sovereign will. Do you interpret facts that way?
Not through the prism of God, no.
Right, so you interpret facts in a different way, but we're interpreting them from an ultimate context. The Bible says, through him all things were created, all things were made through him and for him. Without him nothing was made that was made. So he's the ultimate context that provides for all the dependent facts and their interpretation to what they mean in respect to the nature of reality. He said, I am the light of the world. He who follows me shall not walk in darkness, but have the light of life. That the people who follow Jesus will have an enlightenment to the nature of reality and the facts in it. But if you reject his self-disclosure, I want to know what your interpretation, how you can interpret facts from a contextless worldview.
Well, it's not contextless.
Where do your facts emanate?
You don't need an ultimate context to find some context.
Yeah, I have.
You need an ultimate context for ultimate truth value to the facts.
Yeah, I have.
You can have semantic apprehension of facts, but do you have a ultimate truth value for facts?
Yeah, I have answered this. It's reality.
All right.
That's repeating the same claim. My reality is that facts are God's facts. Do you accept that? Do you accept that reality?
I accept that's your belief. Yeah.
Well, no. Well, okay, but do you accept that reality? Because you keep saying reality. Well, your reality, your facts, you interpret them differently. That's not my reality. I don't interpret facts that. So
that's fine.
Can you tell me the context that provides for all your temporal dependent facts and reality?
Yeah. So do let me just, because it will be easier if I can give slightly longer answers. So my context for any fact is reality. I can compare any fact I want or any claim I want to reality. I do understand that you have a different model.
This is the problem, though. When you say reality, you're already building on a false premise that you know the nature of reality. You're just presupposing that I know the nature of reality. This is what it is, and I don't have to demonstrate or rationally justify it or offer a context. That's what I'm asking you. What is the context for all the dependent temporal facts in reality?
So reality is the context. And then within reality, I can.
That's circular. You're not explaining.
Truth, can I give you an advice? Dart is not here, and it would be good if we would try to have to give atheists the opportunity to have more time to
hey, I don't. Hey! Are you? I don't need you critiquing how I'm having a conversation. Okay?
Is that
Have a
Anton?
conversation that's beneficial to the whole room.
It's for the peanut gallery advice. Hold on.
I am just
dude, don't interrupt. Oh, dude, if you're going to be evasive, you will be removed. You've been a problem before. Okay? I'm having a conversation. He's allowed to talk, but he's not going to sit there and build on a false premise for 5 to 10 minutes when I've already shown him several times that it's false. He keeps employing the word reality. Well, reality will, to be able to say anything is real, the nature of reality, you'll have to have that context to tell me what things are that are real. And so I'm waiting for him to tell me what that is. And obviously he doesn't agree with my version of reality. So he keeps just saying, "Oh, this is reality." Well,
So Ezra, if you let me,
reality is everything in existence. So the question that should be asked is, how do you observe everything in existence to verify that nothing contradicts your version of reality?
okay, that's a valid question. So I don't have to observe everything in existence. All I have to do is observe what I understand and what I can see of reality, and then I can make kind of provisional observations.
you cannot have a proper interpretation. I can demonstrate why.
I can't have
in several different ways. Very easily demonstrate that what you're saying is incoherent.
But I can demonstrate that it is coherent by producing.
No, because you're just appealing to semantic facts that you're apprehending. And you're saying they're intelligible just from a limited context. Like, here's an example I give to people. Have you ever seen the movie Lethal Weapon 3?
yeah, not for a little while though. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there's a part in the movie where Riggs, the Mel Gibson character, he's coming out of the store. He lights up the cigarette and he's looking across the street and he sees this crime in progress. Lady's screaming. This guy's waving a gun. And so he runs across the street. He jumps on this car to make a good dive. And he dives on the guy. And all of a sudden he looks at the gun. He goes, "This is a rubber gun." The lady comes out. She goes, "I'm just an actress."
Yeah.
And the guy goes, "I'm an actor." And then the director steps out and goes, "This is just a movie." Do you remember that scene?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So this is the point. So a person can have a strong confidence on semantic apprehended facts. They can think that they know the true nature of reality, just like Riggs did in this example.
Mm-hmm.
Upon a closer context, you start to see that these dependent facts, they need an interpretation to know what the nature of reality is. Now we're talking about ultimate nature. So you're going to need an ultimate context to tell us what these facts in reality mean. Otherwise, you can just be like Riggs and you can think that you know the nature of reality, be very confident, strongly confident, but completely misinterpreting all the facts in it.
Okay, I understand the analogy. I think that's a really good breakdown. So thank you for that. I think I understand that point. So my response to that would be that, yeah, I could be Riggs in that situation. Maybe I don't have an ultimate context. That means I don't have ultimate knowledge. I don't have absolute knowledge. And I could be Riggs in that situation. I could be making a mistake about the...
No, you don't have a fundamental, you don't have an ultimacy.
Yeah.
It's not that you could be, it's that you are, because without...
Hang on, stop. Okay. So please do let me finish. I understand that I could be making a mistake, but at the moment, nobody has shown me that I am. So I understand that you say, well, you need something beyond that. You need an ultimate context. You need some sort of fundamental context. Show me that I need that. Show me that my facts are wrong, and then I will absolutely concede I need a fundamental context, because at the moment, nobody has shown me that the facts that I live by every day are wrong.
Yeah,
by logical necessity, I showed you that when we're talking about intelligibility for dependent facts, you need a context, and we're talking about ultimate reality. We're not just talking about anything in it, but we're talking about what is reality, and to know that, you have to know what's fundamental, that institutes everything, every fact, and provides for their interpretation and intelligibility. But from a worldview where there's no context, all your facts go into a dark, empty void.
Well, the atheist would say
hold on. So atheists. or just all they can do is idolatrously conceptualize facts to be intelligible, independent from God and how He's revealed those facts to be meaningful.
Right, but I can discern facts, and I seem to be operating perfectly well with that.
No. Give us a proposition right now and justify it on ontological grounds.
Okay, I can. Well, how about I give you an example of how I can reach a fact that you could reach the same fact?
Can you just give us a proposition and justify it on ontological grounds?
What I'm going to give you as an example. So, if we had a cardboard box and it had a certain number of balls inside it, I could open that box and I could count the number of balls. I could then close the box and pass you the box. You could count the number of balls, and you would reach the same conclusion. So I would be able to find a fact.
No.
You would be able to find a fact.
If,
I don't need to refer to anybody else.
Okay. All right. Now let's do this. What if when you slide me the box, I open it and there's no balls inside? Then what? Would that be impossible?
When it happens, then we'll have a problem we have to cross. But
if that happens, then you would have justification is false. Until that happens, you don't.
If that happens, then we've got a problem.
Where does anything at all? Let me show you an example. Where does anything at all come from? Anything in all reality, where does it ultimately come from? Can you tell me?
It comes from different places. I'm not sure.
Where does it all where does it ultimately come from? Where does anything at all ultimately tell me?
I'm not sure I understand the question. I'm going to say no.
Be honest.
Does anybody know?
No, you can't tell me where anything ultimately came from. So what you're saying is, when it comes to any fact, I ultimately don't know anything about it. Because to know something about it, I'll have to know where it comes from, the foundation of what is ultimate that would provide for its intelligibility.
Yeah.
And directly.
We would have to show how we know it.
No, not true. So if I
it's true.
If I have a coin, hang on. If I have a coin and I place it on the table, heads or tails, you can walk in and you can tell me whether that's heads or tails, and I could do the same thing. You don't need to know where the coin came from to make observations about the state of reality as it is today.
Semantically, me and you can agree on that. But when we're talking about ultimate reality, where facts are really have meaning, eligibility to the nature of reality, coin, me and you, everything, the gravity in the room, everything that's ultimately instituted is going to be dependent upon ultimate. That's going to be foundational for its intelligibility. So that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about, we can agree that on some semantic fact, but when you unpack the fact, you can see that we don't agree at all when it comes to ultimate reality.
No,
we just have a semantic, which again has no intelligibility to it. You have to have an ultimate context for intelligibility, because we're going to agree ultimately on how facts are interpreted, because I interpret that coin as being a God-created act, ultimately, that all things were made through him and for him. Without him, nothing was made that was made, including when coins are made, people use those materials of the earth God created to make without him, nothing was made that was made. And so you don't interpret facts that way, but they have a sovereign purpose and meaning in respect to God's will and plan. So you have to interpret facts differently, but you're trying to interpret them
Hang on.
empty context.
Hang on. I'm not interpreting facts differently. The fact that the coin is heads or tails, we have the same fact. What you're
we don't.
We do. If there's a coin on the table, it's either a heads or a tails. So we have that same fact. What you have is an additional
No, we
fact.
don't have the same facts. Well, our worldview is exclusive to your worldview.
Yeah.
Okay.
You facts are completely in contradiction. Yours is from an impersonal ultimacy. Ours is from a personal ultimacy.
He was explaining it, though, in reference to a coin flip. If you say it is heads, and then another person says it is tails, you can't both be right. The reality is it is either heads or it is tails. One person
all semantic facts. Hold on, dude. You guys are correct. You're just making the same error over and over and over. All semantic facts are dependent upon that ultimate context for their actual and proper and true interpretation. I'm not saying that there can't be a semantic where we're just agreeing on these semantic facts that actually need more intelligibility, more of a context behind them to tell us what they mean to respect to the nature of reality.
Why?
If we just stop there, I mean, if we just stop there and we're not talking about ultimate reality, oh yeah, okay, well there's heads. I agree, there's heads. Stop there. We don't have to talk about the nature of what facts actually respect to the nature of reality. Yeah, hold on. You're not wanting to go beyond what those things are, that why they even exist at all. What's foundational that would provide for their actual interpretation. You're trying to interpret them from your limited perspective and say, oh, I can have semantic eligibility. I'm done. I walk away, drop the mic, game over. No, you're going to have an ultimate context.
Why do I have to have that ultimate context?
Then you don't have intelligibility for facts. They don't mean anything.
Shown that I do. But I've literally just shown that I do.
Okay, what is ultimate? What is ultimate that grounds all facts and state of affairs? What is it?
The reality around it.
Okay, reality is just a set of things that actually exist. That is not. That cannot be ultimate. A set of things that actually exist could be my mind. It could be my brain. Is my brain ultimate and fundamental? Is my mind ultimate and fundamental?
No, those are things that are within reality. So is God within reality?
Reality is a set of things that actually exist. So you said it's a bunch of things that exist.
Does God exist? Does God exist within reality?
Yes.
Right.
But reality is.
And according to the Bible, atheists don't exist. Did you know that?
There, I found a bit of an incoherence, James, because you say that reality is what grounds the intelligibility of facts, yet you also state that reality is just a set of facts. So when you put those two together, you're saying that the set of facts grounds the facts. So you're saying the facts ground the facts. So you're not really saying saying anything at that point. You're just making it tautology.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say.
That's an important point.
Yeah, I didn't say reality was a set of facts.
You said reality was the set of all facts or all things that exist. Right?
What is
it that explains all the things around you, right? We're not just asking for this particular fact. What is it that explains the fact that they exist at all, right? Why is it that things exist? Well, you're saying, well, reality explains why things exist. And when we ask you what is reality, you just said the set of things, the set of all things that exist. Well, that's just saying the things that exist explain that it's things that exist, right? Because if reality is just the things that exist, and we ask you to explain the things that exist, well, you're saying, well, the things explain the things that exist. It's not saying much. It's not
right. Okay. So
that's vicious circularity, and also
well, what I'm trying to say is not very informative. But however, there are going to be circles.
You have to let me answer. If you're going to make a point like that, you have to let me answer. So, I'm saying that reality exists. I'm aware of that. I can see reality around me. Somebody then asked where everything comes from. I'm sorry, I was interpreting that as where everything material comes from in a kind of ontological, well, how did it all begin sort of sense.
Again, just smuggling in the word reality would mean what is real. And you're going to have to tell us what is real from your contextualist worldview, which you won't be able to, right? Because when I asked you, why does anything at all exist? You said, I don't know. So what you're saying is, I don't know anything about any ultimate intelligibility for any fact ultimately.
Yeah. I don't need to have one.
Hold on.
Sorry,
right, James, it's important that you understand this, right? We're asking you a very simple question. You agree that that reality exists. Okay, that's obvious. We're not asking you that. We're saying, well, something is real, right? It means it was caused to exist, right? Like your existence, the Earth, the stars, the planets, the space around you, right? Right. All these things are real. They are parts of reality. Reality just means which is real.
Yes,
so the only question you have to ask yourself, okay, well, if these things have to be caused to exist, what is it that causes them to exist? Not just in time, but how is it that they continue to exist, right? Because if something,
where did everything come from? That sort of stuff, yeah.
It's more than that. It's more fundamental.
It's needing to know intelligibility. Here's another movie, because I gave you a movie example about Lethal Weapon 3, and you agreed with it. You've seen how you needed a context. But we're talking about ultimate context. Have you seen the movie Matrix?
Yeah.
Okay, well, in the movie, hold on. In the movie, people worked in high rises. They thought they worked in high rises. They thought they were eating steak. They thought they had families. But when you start watching the movie and you get more of a context, you find out what people thought were facts weren't facts at all in respect to the model of reality that they existed in. That they weren't eating steak, they didn't have a family, that they weren't working in jobs, that they were, in fact, they were hooked up to these energy plasma pods, like they were being used for their energetic properties or something. Yeah. So that's the problem. When you don't have an ultimate context to prescribe what the nature of reality is, by the semantic facts, you just think, oh, I have intelligibility, like the people in the movie. Mm-hmm. Matrix is just a metaphor for darkness. And that's what the Bible says about people. It says that light has come into the world and men love darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil. Everyone practicing evil hates the light and does not come to light, lest their deeds be exposed. So Jesus says he's the light. He provides enlightenment to the true nature of reality, but men love darkness. They'd rather have the non-truth. They'd rather have unintelligibility to the facts. Very similar to the guy in the movie who said, I just want to eat my steak. Like he didn't want to really know what the true nature of reality is. Like you would
absolutely.
Right.
So I understand the analogy. Again, just allow me to answer it. So again, in the movie, which is a great movie, Neo is offered a pill and he is shown that it is all fake. And he steps outside of that reality and he realizes it's all fake, and the viewer can see, that's how we know it was all fake all along. The whole world is just this computer animation. Can you do that? Can you show me that the reality that I think is real isn't real?
Oh my goodness!
He hasn't got the fact. He's not understanding this. He doesn't understand that you don't have an ultimate context to tell us what the true nature of facts actually mean, reality. And you'll need a revelatory ultimate context that Jesus Christ is. All things were made through him and for him. Without him, nothing was made that was made. And Jesus said about these facts, he said, I'm the light of the world. He who follows me shall not walk in darkness, but have the light of life. That they'll have enlightenment to the true nature of reality and the facts in it. Because we have an ultimate context who creates and institutes facts. But now we're going to your worldview and we're asking you, how do you interpret facts from a contextless worldview where all your facts go into darkness?
Right. So my answer was, just like in the film The Matrix, as far as I'm aware, currently my worldview is that I have this world around me and I think it's real, and I think the facts, the reality around me, provide adequate basis for those facts. What you're doing is you're saying, no, they don't. You need something more. I'm saying, show me why I need something more. Show me that what I have at the moment doesn't work, because it does seem like it works.
You're still just committing the same error by employing the word reality, and we're showing you how the reality is dependent upon ultimate context, which you don't have.
Yeah, True Speller, I just wanted to say something really quick. Did you not hear Dodge when he said, you're basically stating the facts are the grounding for the facts? Did you not hear him when he said that? So when you're saying reality, you're saying the state of affairs that actually exist are the grounding for the state of affairs that actually exist. But that would be absurd.